Joe Biden is not okay. The US president's recent appearances have been some of his worst. His lies, forgetfulness and cognitive decline are at an all-time high, which have led Sky News All Stars Rita Panahi, Paul Murray and Peta Credlin to question if he will see out his current term, let alone have the strength to tackle the campaign trail in 2024. The president made a complete fool of himself during a diplomatic visit to Vietnam this week. First, it was the revelation that he in fact doesn't call the shots and is being told what to do by his aides, according to Sky News All-Star Rita Panahi.
I'm just following my orders here.
He's just following orders, folks. That was the president on Sunday in Vietnam during a press conference. And as always, the president has a cheat sheet with the questions he's likely to be asked and the names of those likely to ask it. And he still manages to stuff it up.
And then the very same powers that control his speeches made the extraordinary move to cut the president's microphone off mid-speech when he began to ramble incoherently.
And nowadays, his staff don't even let him finish before they abruptly end a press conference. Have a look at this.
Had access to change it, had access. It wasn't confrontational at all. You came with very
Thank you, everybody. This ends the press conference. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Are you bringing U.S. strategic interests above the rights here in Vietnam?
He also made a bizarre comment about needing to go to bed.
Nobody likes having celebrated international meetings if you don't know what you want at the meeting. If you don't have a game plan. He may have a game plan. He just hasn't shared it with me. But I tell you what, I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to bed.
Look, he wants to lie down, and I think we're all on board with that. I think he needs a lie down.
Joe Biden went on a 6-minute diatribe about global warming, which compelled Sky News All-Star Paul Murray to ask, "What is wrong with you?"
That's a different issue.
Okay,
But
finish
on
up.
the side, so we have,
Wrap it
I
up,
think that
Dennis.
everything is dawning on people. And there's my brother loves having these famous lines from movies that he always quotes. You know, and one of them is there was,
Why are you talking about your brother?
John Wayne, he's an Indian scout.
John Wayne is getting... John Wayne?
Apache, one of the great tribes in America, back on the reservation.
What is wrong with you?
The Union, so they're all armed, they're on their horses in their saddles, and there's 3 or 4 Indians in headdresses.
Shut
and
up!
Soldiers.
And during his speech, the president made the grand claim that a 1.5-degree increase in temperature poses a larger threat to humanity than nuclear war, which left Sky News All-Star Sophie Ellsworth flabbergasted.
And the only existential threat humanity faces, even more frightening than a nuclear war, is global warming going above 1.5 degrees in the next 10 years. And we're in real trouble. There's no way back from that.
What do you think about that we've got to be far more worried about global warming being the end of the world than nuclear war?
Rita, this whole performance by Joe Biden, I will say, is an utter embarrassment to America. I actually am at the point now where I almost can't watch this anymore. It's just so demoralising.
Don't say that, because I've got a Biden extravaganza
yes, we want
coming
the viewers
up later.
to tune into the Biden extravaganza.
So you need to watch
Absolutely
that.
do. But Rita, I just want to get that surely someone should just get that microphone and save him from these embarrassing situations where he makes no sense. He speaks in riddles. How on earth is this man running the country?
Well, yeah, as someone said, is he running the country or is the person who controls his teleprompter running the country?
And back in the US, Biden's blunders continued, only made worse by the fact he was talking about the very solemn anniversary of 9/11, says Sky News All-Star Peta Credlin.
President Biden seems to be, believe it or not, getting worse. Yesterday, of course, was the anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks, and he made a fool of himself by claiming he was at Ground Zero the day after 9/11, despite his own book saying he was in fact in Washington, D.C. Have a listen.
Each of us, each of those precious lives stolen too soon when evil attacked. Ground Zero in New York, and I remember standing there the next day and looking at the building. I felt like I was looking through the gates of hell. It looked so devastating because from where you could stand.
I bet all of you can tell me where you were the day of those attacks and probably every other day after it for a week.
The string of embarrassing performances have Democrats panicking at the thought of having to send Joe Biden out to campaign for re-election in 2024, says Sky News All-Star Kristen Tate.
Well, I think that piece sort of reflects the public sentiment right now. I know a lot of Democrats. I have many in my family, a lot of friends who are Democrats, and all of them are on edge every time Joe Biden speaks, every time he's out in public interacting with voters. It has become very clear at this point that this man does not have the ability to get through, another campaign season, let alone govern for another 4 years after finishing up his first term as president. And I gotta give you credit.
And what's perhaps even worse than Biden's gaffes is the prospect of Kamala Harris taking his place, explains Sky News All-Star Chris Kenny.
Kamala Harris is inexperienced, unconvincing, often incoherent, and just a heartbeat away from the top job.